Hi, everybody, and welcome again to another exciting journey with Dee and Tony. Isn't this exciting? So, we're just recapping on what we've done over the last 2 days.
All right, so we've been from Adelaide to Robe, and then Robe to Mount Gambier, and then Mount Gambier across the border to Portland in Victoria. So our first Victorian stop. Really pretty journey from Mount Gambier through to Portland. Lots of agriculture.
1847 for this church. I guess one of the first in Portland. We'll have a look around. It may not be the oldest one, I guess. Not if Portland was called Portland in 1800. They're probably the older ones, but certainly one of the oldest. Not that I have very good things to say about the Catholic Church, actually, so maybe we should...
Well, I do that. It's a nice church. Look at it up
the
there.
church is nice, but
It's a nice church.
who knows about those priests? And I noticed that the diocese takes in Ballarat, and Ballarat is really quite famous for ill treatment, sexual abuse of children in the country. There's been a lot of that centred in Ballarat. So this is an Anglican church of England. It would have been when it was built in 1834. And I guess even though we didn't have an established church in Australia, often events have been held at Church of England or Anglican churches. So it's kind of in some ways our de facto state church.
Yeah, very de facto.
Very, very de facto.
It's quite nice. Quite nice property though, isn't it? Little scan around.
Building up there. Would that be the residence for the priest, perhaps?
Probably.
So child sexual abuse are not much better than the Catholics.
Do you want to talk more about?
No, no fan of Christianity or organised religion in general. But anyway,
Right,
it's interesting, and but Christianity came with colonisation, so we often do see these old churches, and it seems significant to mention it, given that.
Doesn't mean they're all bad people, though, does it?
No, I think to be fair, I think it's the organisation that I have problems with it, because they stupidly try to protect their reputation by covering up the problem and moving priests, and it's not just the churches, other organisations have done that too. And then their reputations are thoroughly ruined when we find out that not only was there child sexual abuse, but the church organisation became complicit by moving clergy around. A lot of churches in Portland is what I've noticed, and I guess that's hence the interest. So
Go for it.
So we're at Queenscliff at the bookshop.
Yep, there's the bookshop. Yep.
Yeah. I wanted to stop here because there's been a few stories recently about Booktopia, the Australian online bookshop, collapsing with $60 million in debt. Let's not wonder how anybody gets $60 million in debt. But anyway, the owners of this bookshop wrote an article for The Guardian a couple of weeks ago in response to the collapse of Booktopia. And they wanted to press the importance of just local bookshops, which this is, that they're viable to run a local bookshop. And what was fascinating to me was that they just bought it off Gumtree. Anyway, we were in here yesterday. I bought Michael Rowbotham's most recent book, Stormchild, which I'm looking forward to reading.
All right, is that it?
That's it.
That's enough, isn't it? And now we're just going to go for a walk down the street. So this is Queenscliff.
It's very pretty, isn't it? It's just a quaint, not a very large town, about 1,300 people or so. And later on, we're heading off to the wharf to meet the ferry.
We are.
I took a photo of those rusted on the other days, all the comments about political people who are rusted onto the various parties, usually Labor.
Oh, look at this. And this reminds of all the rusted on politicians, is that right?
Well, no, not the politicians so much as those followers of the political parties who are just rusted on, and therefore they won't accept any criticism of what the government might do, for example.
Yeah.
So yeah, the rusted ons they're called.
So it's problem. I don't know what that word is, but it's that. Yes.
Yeah. I tend to think they're rather useful fools.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
Just a pretty street, isn't it?
It is a pretty street. It does feel like it's
Back in
country, you know, like
Country
it's,
and Victorian era.
yeah.
Preserve the old buildings and
Yeah, it's really quite nice, and it's more importantly, it has a golf course,
yeah.
which we should have a look at before we go,
Oh,
just to
that's
see.
a good idea. We should at least go around to.
We haven't been all that successful with golf courses yet, though, have we?
No, I reckon I've done better with bookshops than you've done.
Oh,
with
you've
golf.
done heaps better with bookshops. It's a bit more money than I have at a golf course.
But that's it for me. They were the two bookshops that I wanted to see. The one that was closed in Port Fairy,
Yep.
the Blarney's Books, unfortunately it was closed, and I wanted to visit this one here because
Yeah.
of the little story.
So there we are. This is where are we? Oh,
Queenscliff in
Yeah.
Victoria. And we're on a little peninsula. It's called the Bellarine Peninsula, all of which is a bit new to me, but it's a sticky out bit of land. And we go across on the ferry to Mornington
Yep.
Peninsula, which is another little sticky out
And
bit of land.
no doubt we'll have a film of the crossing.
Oh,
About
I don't know.
a 30-minute crossing, I think.
And we found out about that through one of your friends.
Yeah, through
and that
Paul.
way we
Yep.
could avoid going through Melbourne.
Yeah,
That was the reason.
that was the thing. Okay, we'll catch you then. Bye, everybody. Well, here we are at. Oh, okay, wave. That helps. That's very instructive.
We're at the harbour,
We're at
Queenscliff Harbour.
I'll show you where it is. So this is Queenscliff, quite an impressive building actually, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Which is where you park your car. We were getting ready to get on board the ferry to take us across to Sorrento, and this is where the cars all line up, and somewhere out through there they get this boat whenever it turns up in about 3/4 of an hour, I think.
Actually, it's a good service because it goes on the hour every hour, although apparently this one's a small one. So it only takes 20 cars, but we're second in line, so we're fine.
And there's the ocean out before us, and Sorrento must be over in that direction, I am guessing. Here we are.
Enjoying
can I
a
say
bit of
about
sun. Enjoying a bit of sun this morning, and it's not very windy.
Oh, it's about the
Despite
best day we've had, really,
Yeah,
isn't it?
despite the ominous weather warnings this morning, it's really very pleasant.
So we're heading off to Sorrento, and then from Sorrento to a place name that I can never remember, Kookaburra.
Coram something.
It's
We'll
a
look it up
something.
and get back to you.
It's a something bra. So, you know, it's a place we can go that's abreast of everything else. So, yeah. Oh, I see there was Sorrento. It's just across there. I can
Just
see it from
across
here.
there,
Yeah. So it only takes 30 minutes to travel across the waterways, but
It's a bit of a treat for us. It was rare that we go on a ferry.
yeah. So it'll be very good.
We're expecting a really very good day.
Oh, enough of the puns. That's too much for us. And then we will. Well, I wonder whether I might be able to fit in a game of golf. Maybe we should see if we can find a golf course today,
Shall we at Curran, whatever it is,
or along the way.
or Sorrento?
Well, just along the way. We've got plenty of time.
Yeah, we do.
So we've got 9. How many more days until we get to
At least 10 days.
10 days to get to
days.
Sydney,
Yeah.
which is our first objective. But at the moment we're progressing quite nicely, aren't we? Time
We are. Yeah. Somebody said we're Herkle Dirkling.
We're Herkling.
Herkle Dirkle meaning, which is a Scottish word meaning you just loll about in bed for us. It past the time of getting up.
Yeah, that sounds like something our daughter would say. Is that right?
So, yes, apparently we're Herkle Dirkling on this trip because we're lolling about on the road
Yeah,
longer than we need to.
we are. So we'll catch you all later. Take care. Bye.